kind of a look at the parking area here. It's just packed with cars. I knew this was a popular area, but I can't believe this many people drove this far off the beaten path to get here. Here's the start of our hike. Going out of the big sandy trailhead. Not sure how far we're going to go today. Somewhere between 9 and 11 miles, we're guessing. There's so many people. We're not really sure what the camping situation is going to be like. So it might be dependent upon where we can find a spot without a lot of people to camp. Looking forward to a great hike. We just made it up the first part of Jackass Pass, which wasn't too bad. It was a pretty steep climb, but it was relatively brief as far as climbs go. But one of the coolest things just happened. We were stopping for a break at Big Sandy Lake, and these two girls came walking up and looked at Cal and said, "Hey, did you hike the JMT last year?" He said, "Yeah," and it was the two girls that we made friends with as we were doing the section that we didn't get to do in 2018. We had gone back to California. We finished the section that was closed to us in 2018 because of the fires, and did it last year. And we met these two girls. We had to borrow a pen from them the first night because we need to fill out our registration form at the campsite. And then we kind of met them on and off on the trail, and then spent maybe a couple hours at Tuolumne Meadows when we were ready to head back on the bus, and they were going to continue on. And we just did a big information dump for them and shared all of our tips and tricks. And they were really cool, and we were glad we met them and thought we'd probably never see them again. And then to run into them a year later on a completely different trail in a completely different state, just awesome. So guys, if you ever watch this video, feel free to leave a message for us in the comments, but it was awesome seeing you again. So the trail goes over that side of the lake, and that was treacherous, let me tell you. Oh, this has been a tough climb. Hope we're getting close to the top. Just climbed down this section. That was pretty interesting. Alright, made it down the steeper section. Have some flat trail for a while. We're going to enjoy every minute of this stuff.
we did about 10.3 miles today. It was a pretty easy hike to begin with. Those first 5.5 miles we just cruised through. Then it was uphill and pretty tough over Jackass Pass. And the downhill was a little bit tough as well. Then it got cruisy again at the end for the last couple of miles. We ended up camping right before the next uphill. And we're off the trail by, quite a ways, like a couple hundred yards. But we found a really nice spot in and amongst the trees with a good water source nearby. It's really nice here. So really liking it. Views are spectacular, as expected, out in the winds.
I've never had that ever at the dentist.
Really?
Yeah.
They just like numbed you and just went right at it?
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been terrible.
Yeah, it sucks.
You have to take this audio out.
I'm leaving it in.
Starting out the morning of day 2. Great night's sleep last night. Theron got up and saw a moose this morning, and then came back to get us. By the time we went back there, it had taken off, but he said it was a nice bull moose. Now we're heading up Lizard Head Trail, looking at about a 2,000 foot climb, and then it should be pretty flat after that. Pretty awesome views climbing up the Lizard Head Trail. All these views just keep coming. Just awesome. Leveled off a little bit. I think we still have at least a couple hundred more feet up before we get to the top. There is a trail here, but there's a lot of different lightly used trails going across this tundra area. Half the time I'm not even sure I'm on a trail. But we know which way we're headed. It was threatening rain, so Callan and Theron put their pack covers on. I figured I'd chance it, and it started to rain, and I put mine on, and then of course it stopped, which is fine, because we weren't really looking forward to getting wet. This is a little bit different section of trail. I don't think we've hiked through like something that's almost pure, huge pine forest. This makes for a nice, soft, easy walking trail. It's awesome. So this looks like a nice spot. I was filtering water here last night, and then my eyes drifted this way and saw a big pile of horse poop right on the edge of the water. We had to throw all our water out and go to a different spot. Morning of day 3. Last night we camped near Grave Lake. Very pretty lake, great scenery, but the wind whipping through there, oh my gosh, the whole night it was just like howling. But overall it was nice. It stayed fairly warm for being up here, and everybody got a good night's sleep. Now we're off, going up and over Haley Pass today, and gonna try to make it to Dad's Lake or Mirror Lake, whichever one we can get to. Looks like we'll be starting the day with wet feet. Yep. Oh boy. Oh. That little wobbly rock there. Ooh, Callan, nice work. Mostly dry feet. Look at him go. Ah, well done. Probably worth talking a little bit about mileage out here. We did 12.7 yesterday, and it felt like 15 or 20. And if you can do 15 or 20 easy on flatter ground or in lower elevation, once you get up here above 10,000 feet and you're going way uphill and way downhill, it's not so easy to crank out that many miles. So we've really had to adjust our expectations a little bit about how many miles we're going to be able to do in a day. We just did a quick water stop here, got up to 2 liters. We were thinking about saying, we'll keep hiking with just 1 liter of water, but then we were thinking, I don't ever remember saying to myself, man, I wish I wouldn't have gotten that fresh stream water back there. So last night when we found our camping spot, I found the most magnificent place to put a tent, in between some trees, perfect view of the lake, perfectly flat. And then I noticed somebody dug a poop hole right in the middle of it. So for whoever did that, come on, man, find a different spot. Callan's going to scout this out for us. It looks like we may have a clear path, but we can't really see over the other side yet. So he's going to go check it out. My feet are just drying from the last one. What do you see? walk in the water. We had to find a different route. Callan estimated it at several feet deep on the other side of those rocks, so this looks like a doable rock hop. These views continue to be amazing. That big rock face kind of reminds me a little bit of El Capitan. Really cool. Here's our crew hiking up Haley Pass. This pass is special to us because Theron's daughter is also named Haley, and we went over this pass on her 10th birthday. Hi, Haley. Walking up to Haley Pass here, you can see the trail that cuts across. It looks pretty darn steep, but doable. Well, kind of interesting when you get to a certain point and this is the trail. Yeah, there's a little nuts here. We're not even sure we're in the right spot. Happy times ahead. We are getting down back into the trees again, which means cover from the sun and protection from the wind. Both very nice things. Coming up on Marms Lake. There should be a trail intersection here where we get to walk on the CDT for a little bit, which would be awesome for me and Callan. That means we would have at least stepped on the AT, the PCT, and the CDT. Now the CDT we're only going to be on for a few miles, but at least we've touched all three. This trail just reminded me of one of my favorite backpacking vloggers of all time, Early Riser. The only thing I like more than flat is a lot of flat. Thanks, Early Riser, for all of the great videos and the inspiration that you've given me and my son over the years. At this point in day 3, we had just passed both Dad's Lake and Mirror Lake, which is the area where we had planned to camp that night. My 2 hiking companions started talking about hamburgers, and next thing you know, they're pushing to walk all the way back to the car so they can get a triple bacon cheeseburger. I wanted to stay one more night in the woods, but was outvoted 2-1. As the trip planner, I had made a big mistake. That mistake was having the last night be too close to the car. Here's a tip. Always make sure your last night is far away from your ending point. That will help reduce the risk of mutiny and losing a precious night out in nature. This is about the first extended shade we've had all day. I think that's why everybody wants to get back to the car, because we're very hot and it seems like we're walking across a desert. This has been our typical terrain today. Flat and easy walking, but wide.